So I'm Chef Nick. I'm a certified executive chef with the American Culinary Federation and a graduate from the Culinary Institute of America down in Hyde Park, New York. So I'm also executive chef here at the hospital. So we've got a dietitian, Katie. Katie, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Katie Krofchak. I'm a dietitian over at our cancer center, available to patients. You just need a referral through your provider to meet, but also excited to work with Chef and share this recipe with you guys. One reason why we chose this one, I think it can be utilized, I think, best as a breakfast, in my opinion. Doesn't have to be, but oftentimes breakfast is that missed meal that people kind of are out the door too soon, or just not hungry in the morning, or don't have time to. So this one's really simple, basic, but you can also very versatile of what we're going to put into it. But starting your day off with a good source of fiber, as Dr. Go mentioned, helps move your foods and other particles kind of through the colon here instead of getting sludged there. So that's why one reason why fiber is so important. So chia seeds are the star of this recipe with their good omega-3 fatty acids as well. And the fiber, of course, from your choice of fruit here.
And protein, right?
And protein.
Lots of protein.
Yep.
So the great part about this recipe, kind of how Katie touched on, is as you can see, you can meal prep this once and then have something quick, grab out the door for the next 2-3 days, right? We've got a couple of toppings, which we'll get to later, but you can really add whatever you want to this recipe, okay? So take this as a base and then make it your own, when you get home or you want to try this again. So I'm going to prepare a small batch of the pudding because this pudding needs to sit for about 2 to 4 hours before it kind of sets up like it has here. First thing we're going to start with, right? We've got our seeds. So we're going to go right in the top here of the blender. And we're just going to dump them right in. So that's a 1/2 cup. All right. And the nice thing about this recipe is that it's easy to scale too. So if you want to make the whole blender full, go right ahead. But this recipe kind of expands quickly, as you'll see once we get into it. So the seeds themselves don't have a ton of flavor to them. Is anybody familiar with the seeds? Yeah. Perfect. Everybody is. Nice. So it's all about what you're going to add into it, right? So this one, we're kind of going to go breakfasty. So we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. So vanilla, a little bit goes a long way. Okay. Then the next thing is going to be cinnamon. So a nice breakfasty, some warm spice. Well, that's going to kind of be one of the main flavor profiles when you get there. All right. This recipe calls for sugar-free maple syrup. You can use whatever sweetener you like. All right. The maple flavor profile helps kind of bring the whole breakfast kind of feel together. But honey is really good for this. You can use agave if you'd like, or any sweetener you'd really like for this. But this one is a sugar-free maple syrup. And then the last ingredient is our moisture. Clearly, we're going to need moisture for this. So this one, we're using a coconut milk. You can use almond milk. You can use any milk. Whatever you really want to do as far as your favorite flavor profile goes. So this one's going to be coconut milk. It's going to have a little bit of coconut kind of underlying, but it kind of raises the maple flavor profile too. So kind of fun. So right in. So as I do this, what do you know about coconut milk?
Good source.
Keep going. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, so anyways, we're going to blend this for 1 to 2 minutes.
Was that 2 cups of milk?
That was 2 cups coconut milk, yep. So we'll blend this, and I'm going to blend this because it kind of hits a point where you can tell it's been pureed enough, So you can kind of hear it. So we'll see. So you kind of hear it when you go through the blender.
That was a meditative experience because I kept watching the chia seeds. Come back home,
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah, I spaced out for a second there too. But anyways, There it is, right? So creamy. If you over blend this, you know, it'll set up very quickly, all right, and kind of become a little gelatinous, all right? But that's what it looks like. But again, this is a base, right? So make whatever you want to do. So any questions so far? It's pretty straightforward. Everybody have a blender at home? Yes, go ahead.
Use chocolate milk as well.
You could, yeah, you could. Definitely,
You don't need the vanilla.
right, and the sweetener. You'd want to be careful what you use for a sweetener if you're going to use chocolate milk. So definitely. But yeah, you can use whatever you want. This recipe is vegan, plant-based, the whole way here. So we've got cups here. Everybody's got cups. This is where you guys come in. So we're going to do 3 different flavor profiles, okay? So I wear gloves just because some of the stuff, you know, gets a little sticky. We're going to put some of the pudding in the bottom of all 3 of the cups. And you can put as much as you want or as little as you want. I like to stir it up first just to kind of break everything up, because as this sits, it sets up. Okay? So we're just going to fill the cup about halfway. You should have enough to go about halfway. Oh man, look at that. How do we do? Pretty close?
So if you guys look at your recipe at the bottom, for example, the strawberry one has about 11 grams of fiber in it. So what's recommended daily is about 30 grams of fiber a day. Most Americans are not meeting that. So again, I wanted to kind of do this recipe to start your day off with 11, you know, a third of it right there versus, you know, grabbing a muffin or a donut. If you add in that pop of color, that typically means you're adding in good source of fiber in addition to some other phytonutrients that you won't get from just, you know, popping a fiber pill. You don't get those phytonutrients and antioxidants from those or from a real processed food that has fiber added to it. So something simple as a pop of color, think to start your day off. You're doing something good for your colon.
And there was a question earlier about prebiotics and probiotics, and just think whole food, right? Start with your food, let that be the primary source of everything you get. So talk about plant-based eating, you think about pickled vegetables, raw vegetables, cooked vegetables, and they all add value in different ways. So with pickled vegetables, especially when you have any kind of animal protein, because it's harder to digest, actually the pickled stuff helps us to digest it better. Think about the Germans with their sauerkraut and beer, right? It wasn't to get drunk, they're acidic. And because there's a more meat-heavy diet, it helps to digest better. Indian food, we have pickled vegetables with a lot of lentils and soluble fiber. You go further east, there's kimchi because of a lot of seafood. So cultures around the world have figured out there's value in pairing foods in a way that helps us to digest it better. And if we actually think about what's going in, it makes sense. Think, yeah, but what's a donut once in a while? I'm going to just ask you a question. How many times have you gone to the gas station to say, you know what, I know my car takes gas, but once in a while I'm just going to put some diesel in the engine because, you know, I want to have some fun. We don't do that with a vehicle that's replaceable. Think about the fuel you're putting in your body, right? This is fuel, and the thoughts we hold on to are the fuel that drive us all day, right? So choose them wisely. Right?
All right, so now we're gonna do the fun part. So we can mix and match these toppings, whatever you really like. So we've got some fresh berries here, we've got some mandarin oranges, and then we've got some toasted almonds for texture on top, okay? So this one, according to the recipe here, one of these is gonna be strawberry, the other one's gonna be mixed berry, and the other one's a mandarin orange and almond. So just go ahead. You can add as much or as little as you'd like of these. You know, bring it right up to the top. Whatever's left over, you know, you can put it in your pocket for later, take it home. Just kidding. So we've got a strawberry one, and then we've got a mixed berry one. All right, so these are blackberries, blueberries. All right, I'm just gonna put the almonds on top of the orange one. All right, so then we just put a top on, all right? And this is it. So you can eat it here if you want. You can take them home. I'll be selling these in the parking lot for $4, cash only. I'm just kidding, just kidding. But let's go ahead.
nutritionist,
Yeah.
it's probably a dumb question, but I don't know anything about chia seeds. What would I find them like in a bag, a box?
They're in a bag. Yep, I will see them down the baking aisle on one day, but the next day they're going to move them on you. But I do see them oftentimes down the baking aisle or in like Nature's Marketplace. They do come in a bag, and it lasts a long time. I eat chia seeds like every day. I'll throw them on yogurt, and that's another way you can kind of make this recipe too, instead of coconut milk or another milk. It's putting them on yogurt.
So, I don't know if anybody else has this, but I have an issue with fiber.
Okay.
I can't do high fiber, so this would be totally out for me.
Yeah. It's
So
definitely
a
high
way
fiber.
to kind of to lower fiber, well, you could use a little bit less of the seeds themselves. Again, maybe it's just that sprinkling. I would let them sit overnight to get a little bit softer and reduce that kind of roughage. The canned fruit, like the mandarins, will have less fiber. And then like spacing your fiber out throughout the day versus, mega dose in the morning. Even, if you want to take it a step further, is putting the fruit through the blender itself and to reduce that kind of physical roughage.
That's good. That was a good question. Any other questions?
But what if you have problem digesting fiber?
So I
Probably
think that
puree,
goes
right?
along the same line as kind of just manipulating with the texture of the food and spacing out so you're not having too much fiber in one sitting to kind of work through your digestive system.
And once the chia seeds have become softer, they don't affect diverticulum.
That is case by case basis again, and it might be a volume. You might be able to tolerate a small amount, but yeah, kind of maybe pushing the limits with doing a mega dose.
Could you grind them? I put them
Yes.
in a grinder, a coffee grinder to make them very
Oh, okay.
fine,
And
so that it's not
a step further than the blender.
then
Yep.
it wouldn't get-
The other thing for some people with different fibers, sometimes cooked is easier to digest than raw. For some, especially with like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, sometimes the cooked is easier. So the type of prep for it can also make a difference for you in terms of how you digest it. The literature would say that for diverticulosis, which is having those little pockets in the colon, you could eat whatever you wanted to as long as you hydrate well enough so that you don't get constipated, because then stuff can get stuck. Practically speaking, anecdotally, what we've seen historically, like on exams for medical students and stuff, is things like popcorn, strawberry that have those little seeds, these kinds of seeds, sometimes can be a bigger risk, but primarily it's when people don't hydrate well enough. So if you hydrate well enough, you have lower risk of that diverticula flaring up because something is stuck in there now, and then you get a little bit of inflammation, infection, that sort of thing. The other thing is we talk a lot about plant-based, so this is more breakfast / dessert / any time of day snack type of thing. In terms of the plants themselves, cruciferous vegetables, so broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, arugula, they're all fantastic for helping with inflammation, helping with digestion. There's data on several of them having anti-cancer benefit as well. I just came from a conference 3 weeks ago where they were talking about broccoli sprouts and Brussels sprouts. And broccoli sprouts have this thing called sulforaphane that broccoli also has, but like 50 to 100 times higher. And what's kind of, the way they describe it makes you think of like those, cartoons where you have battles versus good and evil kind of thing. So cancer cells have this longer lifespan. That's part of the problem. Well, the T cells in the body, the immune cells that are kind of combating them, can get exhaustion. The sulforaphane actually gives them an energy boost so they can last longer in battle, right? And so researchers are looking at how they can isolate this and, pillify and do all that, but you can actually have it in whole foods with broccoli sprouts, with Brussels sprouts, these kinds of foods. So, you think about making the plants, right, and the healthy fibers the mainstay and the main part of your meal, and then have the other things be the condiments. I just talked to a patient with colon cancer this morning. Instead of the meat being the main thing, that becomes a condiment on the side, and let the plants be the majority of the meal. That's healthy for cardiovascular disease, for a lot of different cancers, for inflammation in the body, can benefit with arthritis as well. Definitely has a benefit with circulation and memory and brain health as well. So overall, this is the foundation, and then you adjust to that based on your health conditions, your body, your digestion, and then we work with you on that as well.
Any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
Just what would be like the nutritional kind of differences between using oat milk, almond milk, or?
It's a good question for a dietitian. Luckily, we have one.
Oftentimes
put the blender on.
the plant-based milks don't have as much protein versus cow's milk. The coconut milk's going to have more of that fat content, more creamy. And then, of course, a little bit more fiber in something like almond milk versus cow's milk. Yeah. Yep, and oats. Yep. Yep. A lot of those come down. Some of the differences between the non-cow's milk are a little bit minuscule, so it more comes down to your taste preference.
So where do most of the carbohydrates in this come from? I noticed that, 27, 30. As a diabetic, I'm always concerned about how many carbs that I take in.
The fruit themselves, the maple syrup. So you can leave the sweetener out too and use a little bit more of the like cinnamon or whatever spice. Chef was talking about more savory kick on the side of this too, where you wouldn't need a sweetener in that.
Right. Yeah, you could definitely take this recipe and go savory with it. Add some acidity to it with lemon. Some salt really helps the flavor profile. But I was thinking, salmon, some avocado, some arugula, balsamic and strawberry is a really fun flavor profile, especially with salmon. So you could take this, definitely go anywhere savory.
Yeah. So that might be a time where maybe you are comparing what liquid, that side panel of which one has the lower carb, or bumping up that protein a little bit more will lower that glycemic index or that sugar spike that you have. So such as like a yogurt in there. These are pretty generous servings of the fruit too. You could maybe cut back a little bit on the amount of fruit in one sitting. But that's mainly where the carbs are coming from.
Thank you.
Last question, I promise.
That's okay.
Walmart blender versus the vitamin.
You want my honest opinion? It's no competition. So, Vitamix blenders are great. They're very expensive, but I think they're worth the money, honestly. I have one at my house, so it's my personal, go-to blender for sure. There's a couple other good brands out there, but it just depends on how much you want to invest in a blender. So, at the end of the day, most of them will puree, and this recipe, kind of as this thickens, if you let this go, it gets thick and it would actually burn out the motor. So yeah, it gets really thick. So, but Vitamix is my personal favorite. All right, well, just want to thank everybody for coming. This is always fun. It's always a good time. Thank you, Katie. You did great.